Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Builder's Handbook podcasts. Today, I'm so excited. This is a platform where we come to learn, come to get insights, ideas. We want you to get inspired to go out there and build something that is of lasting impact. We want you to make impact in your communities. We want you to make impact to the businesses that you start, businesses that you're running. We don't want you to fail. We want to make sure that you have enough resources, be equipped with information. Watch someone else's walk the journey that you want to walk. And today I'm so happy to have our guest, Darlene Moore. Hey, Darlene.
Hey, Lennon.
So glad to have you. So Darlene is the founder of DriveTraffic Digital Marketing. I know her we actually met at a networking platform and we had a few calls, e-coffees, and I just really liked her and what she has built. And I said to her, hey, you should come to our podcast. So she agreed and I'm so happy she did. So some quick facts about Darlene. She's been in business for the last 25 years. She's probably been in business for longer than some of the viewers that are going to be watching today. And she has served over 2,000 clients. Over 2,000 clients. Her whole thing is she's helping businesses to increase visibility online. Welcome, Darlene. And I guess the first question will be, who is Darlene?
Oh, well, apparently, after being in business for 25 years, I'm going to describe myself as being curious about everything. I'm not intimidated by the market right now. I'm curious. I want to know more.
Nice.
I'm just seeking information.
Yeah.
I love to travel. I love being outdoors. And I guess your temperature, my temperature makes the season a bit short to be outdoors, but for different reasons than yours.
Yeah.
I love kayaking, cycling, gardening, anything that keeps me moving.
Okay. And your family, do you have kids, grandkids? What's the situation?
No, I'm heading into a new phase of life. No kids, no more dogs. I had dogs for 25 years.
Okay.
And my partner's entering retirement in about 4 months. So I think I'm headed to pseudo retirement as well.
Okay. Are you excited?
I am. And I think AI is coming at the right point in time.
Right.
Just to make me more efficient, so that I can work a little bit less and have a little bit more fun.
Nice. It's interesting that you would actually welcome AI, but we'll get into that because a lot of people are kind of running away from it because it's scary. But for you, you're actually embracing it, which is really fascinating. I guess I've got a few questions jotted down here, and I want us to get into more about your business, how you have kind of carried yourself through all the transitions. So I'll get into the first question. I think for me personally, I'm so curious about, so why did you start? What made you get into business? Why not just go into some kind of career? What made you pivot and go into solopreneurship like you did?
Just stumbled into it. I didn't set out to start a business. So if I want to be really honest, I was working at Walmart, the first Walmart that opened in my city. I was a manager.
Wow.
And somebody told me, so I mastered the gun for pricing. We're going back a long, long time, right? I mean, I've been doing this for over 25 years.
Yes.
So somebody said to me that I reminded them of a friend who was a computer trainer. Long story short, I told you we're going back in time. I faxed my resume to a number of computer training schools in my city, and I became self-employed teaching computers to government employees. And then I started teaching myself HTML, and then I got into search marketing. And eventually I got so busy that I didn't have time to be teaching computers anymore. So I just sort of morphed from one business to another. And I'm sure it's going to happen again before my career is over.
Wow. So take us back there. I mean, this is kind of when internet was starting to be a thing. And right now you're saying you were teaching HTML for someone who was in 2026.
Before Windows existed, I was teaching HTML.
Wow. That is fascinating. So
I'm old.
Well, you know what? You're matured. So we love experiences. And that is definitely one of the most exciting experiences of hearing someone who has come from that age. How old were you then?
Uh, oh, because that's going to tell you how old I am now.
Okay, fine. Let's scratch that.
Okay.
Give us a range. Okay. So you were young, definitely. And you got in and you started, educating people on computers, and almost you're an educator, you're teaching, which is a great place to start anyway. So what has made you stay in this business for this long? I know the culture of North America, and I've come to see it now. It's like, let's get into a business, let's make it profitable, and let's make sure we exit and cash in. All right. It's not every dime that you see someone who's actually stayed in a business for as long as you have, unless they're like a big corporation, like, these Fortune 500 companies. Those are the ones that you hear been around for 50 years, 75 years. You have gone for 25 and you have stuck to it. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I have four letters for you.
Hmm.
ADHD. I seek novel stimulation all the time, and there is no shortage of novelty or
Right.
change when you have anything to do with Google. And actually, would you believe that Google was not the main search engine when I started in this industry? So
Was it,
again,
wait, was it Yahoo?
yeah, and there was Ask Jeeves.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
was the main one. We did like white text on a white background kind of thing, to be
Wow.
visible. Yeah, you thought that was just a rumor, but that was true.
Wow.
And yeah, so I forgot
The
the rest.
question
Oh,
was, so why did you stay for this
yeah.
long?
So things I never get bored. I
Okay.
mean, the minute I get bored, I'm gone, right? I can't stay at my like swim session in the morning, past 40 minutes because I'm bored.
Okay.
Um, so I think Google is always changing. And I sort of work in three Google areas. There's the SEO, the Google Ads, and the Google Analytics.
Yeah.
So every couple of years, one of those at least is undergoing major change. So right now is kind of SEO. Before that, we had GA4 kick in. So there's always something I'm having to stay on top of and then help my clients, update to whatever is current.
Okay. So you were saying in your own story, the only reason why you've stayed on is because you've found interesting things over and over again.
Always, always. I'm so mentally stimulated in this field.
Wow, that is great. So how have you navigated? I mean, this is now coming into, obviously, if you've been in SEO marketing for as long as you've gone through many changes. And the one big change that has happened like recently in the last, I'd say 3 years, give or take, is AI. AI has come in and disrupted a lot of industries, not just in digital marketing, but everyone is talking about it. And I just want to hear from you firsthand, like how has AI changed the way you do things now? And talk to us a little bit about how you transitioned, through the changes that were happening, how you managed to keep your head above water.
I guess it depends on whether you're asking about services delivered or
Yeah.
how I
For
use
like the
my.
traditional search engines, and now people are looking into, they'll ask a question on ChatGPT, like, where do I get this? People have stopped Googling and now they're just AI. So I'm just curious, from someone who's actually, running a business in this area, how you've managed to go through the transitions and the change.
Yeah, I guess I don't realize that, we just start making changes every day. So I used to focus on, where you rank in Google, let's say, and rankings long not been accurate. Um, but now we have not just Google to pay attention to. We need to keep an eye on ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity. I won't say Gemini because that's baked to Google now.
Okay.
So I see myself as working in visibility, making sure you're visible in Google for a variety of phrases and variety in or visible in Chat GPT and other LLMs or AI tools as well. I think that's the biggest change.
And your clients, when they come to you, are they expecting you to know these things? Are they like asking, hey, can you give us this? Are they specific about what they're looking for nowadays?
Sometimes not. My clients, I find, are much earlier in the AI discovery than I am, and they've never been one to look at their analytics, nor do they really understand what a search engine results page is made up of, all the variety that's in there. So
Right.
they know that people use ChatGPT more, and maybe they should be visible there. Sometimes they come to me with a business problem.
Okay.
So whether they need more of a certain type of client or they need more clients in general, and they let me figure out the right avenue to achieve that.
So what would you say would be an average timeline for the clients to start to say, okay, now we're seeing results?
Yeah, gosh. Okay, so it depends on whether we're doing Google Ads or SEO.
Okay.
Google Ads can happen quite a bit faster.
Okay.
Even with all of our background work, setting up the stuff in the background, the analytics, that sort of idea, we can get lead coming in versus where it needs to be. So some people might get, their first lead in a couple of months, and others, it might take 6 months before they get their first lead. It really does depend on how fast the client can implement what I'm guiding them to do, whether they agree with my recommendations. There's so many factors to consider.
So you have like some kind of a playbook that when from your onboarding, when you get your clients, you kind of take them through a little bit of training, like, okay, this is what I'm going to expect from you. If you follow this playbook, then we're definitely going to get results. And have you had clients that are like, okay, we already know what we want to do. We're just going to tell you what to do, because, this is clients, right? Clients 101. Some of them will know what they know. Some just don't know what they don't know. And you don't know what you're getting. And some of them will actually come and it's more pressure on you because they want you to do things in a certain way. How have you navigated those kind of challenges?
Love it, or maybe I don't. When a client copies from ChatGPT telling me what to do
There you go.
now, and I was like, okay, well, I can tell that this came from ChatGPT. And generally in the world of SEO, this is a good idea. However, ChatGPT doesn't know the intricacies of your business because you haven't shared this with your business.
Right.
You are already getting traffic, a good volume of traffic, but that traffic is not converting.
Right.
What ChatGPT is proposing is not going to get you more clients. It's definitely an important tactic in SEO. But right now, I think we need to work on conversion rate optimization. We need to fix the website so the traffic you are getting are more likely to reach out and do business with you. Let's get some money coming in,
Right.
and then let's open the faucet and get more traffic coming in.
Yeah.
So it's not that clients tell me what to do directly, but they use AI to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And I can push back. I feel so confident. I mean, if AI can do my job, I'm going to sit here and let it do my job, but it can't. It needs me. It absolutely needs a strategist at the helm.
Yes.
So I stress that to the clients. They are not going to accomplish their business goal if they straight up listen to AI because they don't know what to tell AI about their business in order to put it in the right direction.
Yeah. There is a common expression. I always use it, talking to some of the clients that we work with, like AI will fake it until it makes it. AI doesn't know you. It will go into the Internet of Things and get whatever sloth that is out there and bring it back and say, well, this is the truth for you. So I feel like, yes, a lot of people don't quite understand that AI is not a magic wand. It's there to do those three things. It's there to automate, to augment, or to give you recommendations. So people will use AI for all three at the same time. And now AI is running their business. I saw one, I think it was a reel, and someone was showing an email that came from a client or someone that emailed them. And it had the three little dots, it had the lines in it. Like there's nothing more infuriating than understanding that you're speaking to AI and not to a real person. But a person is now working for AI because they're the ones that are, well, now with the agents, you can actually have an AI agent send your email. So who are we talking to right now? Who are we serving? That's the question right now, right?
Client ask if it was really me sending the email or AI. And I'm like, what? I'm so verbose. What made you think that it's AI? Like,
Yeah,
I don't allow my agent to send emails. It's allowed to draft them, but
exactly.
I need to review them because, sorry, it makes too many mistakes.
Yeah. So what did you stop doing to remain competitive? What's the one thing that you'd say, or two or three, that you would say, I stopped doing this because I wanted to remain competitive? And I'm so glad I stopped doing that for me to remain competitive. Because what normally happens when you've been in business for as long as you have, you may, I've seen from other people, they will stick to their guns. Like, this is the way we do things, and we're not going to change. No matter what happens, we're sticking to this playbook, we're sticking to this way of doing it. What would you say is the one thing that you changed to
I'm
remain
so
competitive?
fortunate because I have worked in agencies, search marketing agencies, where you have massive thought leaders. And I mean, decades ago, the thought leaders in an agency I was working in were changing their focus from keyword volume
Mm-hmm.
to search intent. What is the person looking for when they type this phrase into Google? If they're looking for information rather than to make a purchase or looking for a service provider, that's not who we need to target. Regardless of what the search volume is, you might become number one on for that phrase, but that person's not going to buy from you. So today I'll focus on search intent. I will make up target phrases that don't have any keyword volume behind them.
Uh-huh.
But if we can be visible for that and similar phrases, we can build upon the visibility for that intent. Somebody who's looking for exactly what we have to offer. And you get business that way, no problem.
Yeah. I heard someone say marketing is all about getting the person to do the next thing. And so when you see that intent of someone going to click on something, searching for a word, I'm looking for this, is there this? That's an intention to buy for the viewers. The intent is linked to what the person is feeling, what they want to do. So if they wanted to buy something, they're going to go online and search for it. And then Darlene and our team already set up to capture those keywords and be able to say, okay, we see that you have intention to buy. Now, let's show you where to buy, which is basically what SEO becomes. I love that. So you stopped kind of doing it the old way and saying, okay, this was working before, but how about we do it this way? And how have your clients reacted to that? Because for some of them, it's like we're used to this traditional approach. How have you convinced them to take on the new way of doing it?
Decides to work with me, they trust me. And so they don't typically challenge what I say unless they'll help me fit. I'm a search marketing expert. They are an expert in their industry. So they might ask some questions about what I'm presenting and how it doesn't quite fit with their business. So I'll tweak, but I'm not totally pivoting.
Right.
The other thing is, so in addition to stopping focusing on keyword volume and starting to focus on search intent, we also you have to convince people to buy from you now. What is it?
Yeah.
12, 20 more touch points somebody needs. But
Yes.
also they need to know who is behind the business. So we need to work on, in the industry, we call it the EAT or the EEAT, the experience, the expertise, the authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. It's just
Nice.
easier to say the EAT.
The
You
eat.
have to make sure the website conveys that you are trustworthy, right?
Right.
That is not, it's not all in your what you rank in Google. It's when the people get to your website, do they trust you enough to reach out and have a conversation?
Right. So I've seen, if I look at like the North America type of businesses, I mean, I've only been in North America for about roughly 3 years now, and I've learned a lot from how businesses are done here. But if you look across the world, like in Africa, for example, it's different. You'll find that there's not a lot of solopreneurship. I guess the culture is more corporate. It's more, even if the business size is small, but they'll have a corporate structure. In your clientele, do you normally deal with like those kind of solopreneurs, or you're also helping out corporate structured businesses?
Over the many decades, I've worked with a variety of businesses and sizes.
Right.
So I work today a lot with solopreneurs or small business. There'd be a team of, up to 5 people, but I
Right.
usually work directly with the business owner.
Yeah.
I might work with an admin person, but the business owner is always involved.
Right.
But we're using an admin person for some execution.
Uh-huh.
I've worked in colleges, and that is challenging because they're very slow to be able to pivot. They have a lot of red tape that prevents them from being so nimble as is required.
Right.
But they're competing with other schools who have the same
Problem. Yeah.
issues. Exactly. So at least it's an even playing ground.
Okay. So so how to walk us through like your onboarding. If you like, is it questions that you're asking, like how big is your business? What size team do you have? Who are we going to be? Do you need one person to be interacting with you? Because all of this is happening online. So we want to paint a picture for someone who's watching this and they're thinking about, okay, I want to start a marketing agency. I want to start it as a solopreneur, and then I can employ other people that can help me. But when I start getting clients, what's the type of work I'll be doing? I think we're gonna want to go into like your structure, all right, to kind of map out how you started from being one person and then employing other people, and how you kind of transition through all of that.
So many questions, Lennon. Not
Oh
sure that I
yes,
can remember all of them, but
I'll nudge you. I'll nudge
okay.
you.
So I started off as just by myself. This was more about curiosity, and I stumbled into it. I went to work for an agency. There's been a couple of times where I've gone to work for some agencies because SEO was really slow to take off in my city.
Right.
In Ottawa, even though it's Canada's capital, it is not a busy hub. So
Right.
I went to work in Montreal for a year and got to work with businesses that were so different. I worked with a lot of casinos because that's who their audience was.
Oh wow.
And yeah, so like 2 weeks into the job, I was doing Google ads. We called it PPC at the time.
Right.
Google stopped allowing casinos to do Google ads. So that was the
Oh
first
goodness.
experience in pivoting.
Right.
I've had a lot of experience in pivoting.
Right.
Today, I'm really focused on business. I don't really care how much your business earns or how many employees you have.
Right.
I do ask a lot about what are the resources that you have? Can you keep up with me? The tasks that I give you to do you have a webmaster? Are you doing this yourself? Like, what resources do you have in terms of time and money to hire other people? Are you doing email marketing? Because just goes hand in hand. If you're selling e-commerce, I can help you with SEO, but you'll do so much better if you have even the basics of email marketing
Right.
in place. If you really need business coming in quickly, then maybe we should be looking at Google Ads.
Okay.
So really understanding what a business owner has available to them. When I came back from working for an agency, I made a decision that I wanted some help, and I I tried hiring locally people to do SEO. They disappear. I
Oh,
tried training people.
right.
They disappear.
Oh, good.
So somehow I ended up hiring overseas. I
Okay.
think I had come from working in a US agency where we were all remote. This was long before COVID. I've always been remote.
Okay.
And long before COVID, the whole agency was remote worldwide.
Uh-huh.
That's when I became aware of hiring people in different countries.
Right.
And I think I probably used Upwork or something in the beginning.
Okay.
But now the people who work with me are specialists in their area. So I have a fantastic web analytics person. I actually have two of them. They're different. And I have a Google Ads team because we sometimes white label to other agencies. So this allows us to have multiple people to scale as needed. But everybody who works for me has their own gig going on. just one of other clients that they have. So I don't feel compelled to keep them busy full time. And we just navigate their availability. I have other people I can turn to. I seem to have trouble finding, in the past, I couldn't find somebody really good in SEO, but I have somebody now in Nigeria who's really
Oh,
good.
oh,
She's
nice.
lovely. She's become a friend. I know. Nigeria is the up and coming place for women in SEO.
Interesting.
It is amazing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Uh, but I think there's a lot of people who know SEO, but not everybody can work with my brain. And as a business owner, I'm busy. If you're going to write content for me, when I get it, I need to not have questions. Like, does
Right.
this stay on the website? Does this go? Where's the call to action? Did
Yeah.
you really mean this? I need there to be no questions when I read the content. And so when I give it to the webmaster, there needs to be no questions. And that takes experience and
Mm,
training. I
mm,
was trained by a colleague to do better.
right.
And so, yeah, my Chiamaka in Nigeria,
Yeah.
she's fantastic at SEO strategy. We
Nice.
work really well together. And so it's allowed me to scale and take on more clients.
I love that. So I absolutely love the fact that you have recognized that you can get talent from anywhere in the world. So I'm a firm advocate of outsourcing. I think a little bit about my story. A few years ago, I was running a BPO business. Well, in Africa, we call it a BPO, which is business process outsourcing. Basically, like what you're doing to her in Nigeria, you're outsourcing a part of your business so that you can do that. So I ran that outsourcing business for a little over 3 years. I think the bulk of our business was coming from realtors in California. And then we had the fires that kind of happened during COVID. We actually had a peak because no one was ready for that. And fast forward to last year, I was then approached to become a board member of the BPO Council. So I actually sit on that board. So we are looking at how we can expand the knowledge for people out there to understand, hey, Africans can come in, they're educated, we can communicate well, we're dependable. So I sit in the technology and AI sit where I'm driving all the initiatives, training people to be more AI native. So all of that, I get so excited because I think if I look back to like 5 years ago, every remote worker was from India. It's either was India or it became Philippines. And then at some point, we started to see some growth in South Africa. It's actually, I think, the fourth largest GDP contributor to the economy. So it's quite huge. It's growing as well. The one question I had for you, and it's more like a personal question, really, is how did you navigate through the cultural differences? Let's use her from Nigeria. Were there certain things that kind of popped up where you're like, okay, we need to have a conversation about that? Anyone?
No, I don't find there to be a lot of cultural differences.
Right,
Is some of the writing, the language sounded a bit British to me.
right, yes,
So I clarified a bit of things, but I don't expect anybody to turn over something that I implement, just like I don't implement something that AI spits out, right? I need
right,
to put my own lens on it.
yes,
So it's to be expected. And I just share my input, what I don't say this, I say that, just so you know, or I'm in
okay,
Canada, so we spell things with a U. We spell
yes,
things differently than the US does.
yeah,
One of the most challenging things about working with people overseas is the
yeah,
difficulty in payments. Yeah. And there's actually, even I thought that, hiring anybody out of North America would be significantly cheaper. It's
yeah,
not. The people who speak English well enough to do business around the world, and by the way, English is a first language for a lot of people
right,
that I did not know. We learned so little, really,
right,
growing up,
right,
and they also do not charge, like very, very low prices. They're
right,
easily charging what professionals in my country would be charging, especially when you consider that everybody outside of Canada bills in US dollars. And I put the conversion on that. The
okay,
Canadian dollar is not very strong. So it means that I'm paying, people
Top dollar.
automatically think, yes, people think that we're paying bottom of the barrel when you hire somebody
No. Yes.
in another country, and you're not. You're paying people who are educated, they're on top of this industry,
Yes.
they have work experience.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes. So
yeah.
yeah, that is the misconception. Everyone thinks, oh, you're hiring from Africa, you must be paying nothing. No, no, no. They are professionals. They have degrees. They have experience. So they will give you, the only difference is they're not sitting in Canada. They're not sitting in the US. They're sitting in Nigeria. They're sitting in Zimbabwe, South Africa, Ghana. They're sitting in India. They're sitting in the Philippines. But it's the same value that they bring to the table. And I'm so glad that you bring that up, because it will help someone that has this misconception about hiring overseas, because the first thing that they think about is, oh, I'm going to get someone for cheap. No, no, no. You're going to get someone who is dependable, someone who's educated, the same things that you listed. And I'm so glad that you caught on to that. Was that something that you then found out, or you kind of knew from the beginning?
There's been a lot of trial and error. I mean,
Right.
I've hired a lot of duds, people who deliver.
Yes.
But you hire them for small projects, you pay them, and you decide whether they're worth trying again.
Yeah, yeah. So if you were sitting with someone who wants to get into this space or has kind of dipped their toes in it for a little bit, what would, I guess, one or two things that you'd say to them? They're looking at the landscape. They're thinking, this is not going to be easy. I'll speak to this. Maybe I've been caught wanting on this side, but because we talk about AI a lot, you will scare people off. They will think, oh, the world is going to turn upside down. If you were sitting with someone who's worried about those things, if I'm going to get into this business, what is it going to look like in a year? What is it going to look like in 2 months? Because AI is giving everyone nightmares at the moment. You seem to be steady. You seem to know whatever happens, I'm still going to be relevant. So what would you say to those people?
I think there's a couple of things. You need to stay on top of the industry. You need to carve out a lot of time to be reading.
Right.
And your clients are light years behind you. If your clients had the knowledge that you have, they wouldn't be looking to hire you.
Exactly.
So my clients are really quite far behind me typically.
Right.
They've hired other people over the years who are quite knowledgeable. I don't know why they're not still working together, but yeah, staying on top of the industry is a huge part of it. And then bringing your clients along with you. That's really how I see myself. I'm guiding my clients. So I'm using AI to help me be more efficient, stay focused, that sort of idea. It's kind of like a virtual assistant in a way.
Yes.
But I don't use it for deliverables.
Right.
I teach my clients how to use it to save them time.
Right.
Only on certain things, but I need things to come from my clients' brains to do well in search marketing. But teach them how to be more efficient so they can do more stuff that will move their business ahead and spend less time on things that are not going to make a difference in the business. So I think with an eye towards business, as I've matured over these 25 years, it's not about how you rank in Google. It's about what you do for the client's business. So you have to have trust for your client. You have to have a good relationship with your client. You need to understand various aspects of their business so that you can pivot as needed to do things that help their business survive, not just get them ranking or visible in Google for certain phrases.
Right. You have to act like you are literally sitting in the same office as them. And the money that they're getting is literally what's going to pay you too. So you have to make sure that you're bringing that value, not kind of ticking the boxes.
Exactly.
I think that is so important. Yeah, that does make a difference. Service providers, service-based business is all about, most of the businesses is all about ticking the boxes. Have we made you to rank? Yeah, okay, we tick that box. But am I making more money by hiring you? Have you added any more zeros to our bottom line? Yes or no? And I love that you're teaching people AI. And one thing also that I want to add to that is there is this idea that this AI bubble, like everyone is in it. But that's not true. Even if you read, I was reading up yesterday, McKinsey, they brought out this report that said 98% of the top companies that have tried to implement AI, they have reported that their employees, only about 48% actually using AI. So you find at a business corporate level, they have tried to do all these things, but have failed. Why? Because their employees are just not having it. They're just not interested. There's a wide open gate for people talking about AI, and there's a very small gate of people actually using it. So at which point do you then figure out, oh, okay, this person is at this level of understanding, so I need to bring them up? Like, do you have like an assessment, or you take it through the conversations?
Through conversation. And I'm talking about starting at square one, like creating a custom GPT for your business,
Right.
storing your color, your styles, that sort of idea in there so that I can access them and anybody else that you work with. Starting from square one, it can't be intimidating.
Right.
And of course, I only bring that up if a client has seemed interested or curious about using AI, or if I see that they're really struggling to manage all the things on their plate, to juggle all the balls.
Right.
I might suggest an AI agent just to
Okay.
help them stay organized. And so it's not about doing things for their business. It's about just helping them stay organized and be more efficient and not drop as many balls. You know how it is as a business owner.
Yeah.
There's a lot of responsibility on your plate.
Yeah. A lot of moving pieces. Which AI models or which agents are you kind of nudging them towards right now?
Nothing concrete yet.
Okay.
I'm needing to make sure. So I've been using agents for a couple of months.
Right.
And I cannot set my clients up on that. They're not techie enough, and I'm going to end up being the IT team.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but that they don't have the budget to afford something larger,
Right.
that I've talked about.
Yes.
But then there are some I have open on my computer right now, some free or very low cost agents that have different tiers they scale.
Okay.
Eventually, I want to give them a try to see if they can help my clients at all. Are they trainable? Are these agents trainable?
Okay.
I really don't know what they can do, but I could maybe talk to you later to see what you think.
Of course, I'm going to be there. So I love the fact that you have decided to get in front of it, and you're like, hey, I'm going to handhold you through it, and to make sure that, because once they're also AI native, it makes your life easier, because it'll cut off the time, it'll cut off the processes for you. So there are a lot of businesses that are starting right now off the cuff as AI native. And just being AI native means they don't have the holistic or the traditional organogram where you kind of have the CEO here, you have operations. No, no, no. They just have maybe a CEO, and then they have a string of an army of agents, and then they will have maybe one or two people, kind of the human in the loop of whatever is being done. So that's your 21-year-olds that are starting businesses in 2026. They're not looking to hire people; they're looking at agents. So it's a whole new ball game, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the competitive landscape is going to change, because they don't have the experience that you bring, the know-how that you bring. You can make it more human. You can, if I'm searching for something, you understand the brain behind it. You're not using AI for 90% of what you're doing. You're helping. You're using it to help you. You're still the main person in the room. So I want to see how all of this is going to work out. The competitive landscape will change. You have a lot of these younger people that only know AI, that never did PPC, that don't even know how search engine worked before, what's happening now. So it's going to be really interesting, and I will definitely love watching how you're going to stay, because you're definitely up there on top of the game, and I love that. So I think to kind of bring this to a close, is there anything that you would want to give to our audience? Any parting shot, any parting words, or any resources that you might want to share with the audience?
Custom GPT, because sometimes people want to listen to AI more than they listen to me.
Right.
So I just built an AI tool.
Wow, you
That
built it. Hold
it's
on,
just a
you
custom.
built it. You didn't
Yes.
buy it off somewhere, you built it. Love that.
Well, yes. What I did is I fed it some knowledge from experts in my industry that I look up to.
Right,
And so I fed it the knowledge so it can stay up to date, and I can always tweak it as well.
right,
So as those experts change their messaging, the tool will change, the recommendations will change.
right.
So it's just a custom GPT that makes it more accessible to my clients who use Chat GPT. And they just have to put in 3 pieces of information.
Okay.
The tool's called Would AI Recommend Your Business? They just have to put in their business name, their URL or website, and the geography that they serve, if that is relevant.
Right.
And those 3 pieces of information, and it spits back very structured, easy to read, because that's important for me.
Of course.
Information. And today, it's basically telling them that if their website is in pretty good shape, they need to start building their presence off of their website. So in other locations, that's what's important for SEO and visibility in AI today.
Nice.
So if they weren't believing me, this tool tells them, and it gives them some concrete examples of how to do that.
Nice. So if someone is watching and they want to reach out to you to work with you, how do they get in touch with you?
My website is probably the best bet, drivetraffic.ca/builder's handbook. I'll put some resources there, and I know you'll put them in your show notes as well.
Right. Yeah.
Always on my website, there's an opportunity to book a call, book a 20-minute call. I love chatting with new people. No pressure to buy. If I can help somebody get started in the industry or another industry, I'm always happy to do so.
Well, Darlene, thank you so much for being on the show today. Now, for our viewers, I think you heard it all. Replay it, make some notes. We'll make sure that in the comment section, we'll give out all the resources that you spoke about, the custom GPT. You can go and schedule a call if you want to have a conversation with Darlene, but we're always here. Remember, this is a platform where we share ideas, insights, and help you to go and build something of impact. Thanks, Darlene. Bye for now.
It was wonderful hanging out with you, Lennon.
Always a pleasure.